Alright guys, so the Realme GT7 Pro has officially landed here in Malaysia, and yeah, I did do a very quick first impressions video I think a couple of weeks back, but in today's video I just want to share with you sort of like a follow-up experience after using it for quite a bit. So in today's video, let's talk a bit about my personal thoughts and see if this device is the next device for you. Let's begin the video right away. Now first things first, we should probably address the largest elephant in the room, and that is obviously the chipset. So the Realme GT7 Pro here is powered by the Snapdragon 8 Elite. It's the most powerful Snapdragon processor to date. It's even more powerful in terms of benchmark scores than Dimensity's flagship chipset. And yeah, of course, you can expect the best performance coming out of this device. So is that true? Well, I've actually been gaming quite a fair bit now on this particular device. Now the game that I play is actually Honor of Kings. So depending on the kind of games that you play, your experience might differ. But here's my HOK kind of gaming experience on this guy. So after playing like 6 to 7 rounds consecutively non-stop, yeah, I know I shouldn't be playing that long. I noticed that the battery life was actually able to hold up very well, and that is actually pretty good because I actually put my graphics all the way up to maximum. Now speaking about graphics, the phone itself does support the AI Super Res as well as AI high refresh rate, so you can actually use AI to boost the resolution up to 1.5K and actually boost the frame rate up to 120 FPS. Now naturally, this is only supported by a number of games. Not every single game will support that, so yeah, do check if your game actually supports that feature. Now another thing that I noticed about the gaming here is that after gaming for so long, the phone actually still feels quite cool to the touch, and this is probably helped by the super large vapor chamber in here that actually helps to keep everything cool. Now even if you play games that are a bit more graphic intensive like your Genshin, I also noticed that it was still significantly cooler than my previous flagship devices that I used to game on. So that's just something to think about just in terms of your gaming experience. If you are a gamer, naturally the 8 Elite on here is going to be the chipset that you will want to get. Alright, but if you are not a gamer, should you care about all this? Well, long story short, again, if you are not a gamer and you're looking to buy a flagship phone, well, in this case, the GT7 Pro here can offer you like the smoothest experience ever. Like, it's seriously very, very smooth. Like, everything that I do on the phone just flies. It doesn't matter if it's my social media. Even launching the camera and taking like a ton of photos on here is just so quick. So yeah, if you are a normal user, the Snapdragon 8 Elite will still benefit you in some kind of way, and you do not need to change your phone that quickly. Alright, let's move on to the second key feature that I think should be mentioned here, and that's actually in terms of the cameras at the back. Now over here we do have a triple camera setup. This is being led by a 50MP main, a 50MP 3x telephoto lens, and also an 8MP ultra wide. Now after using this camera for quite a bit now, I think there's one cool trick that I would like to share with you guys. So if you're just taking photos, my tip here would be to actually just reduce the EV. That means reduce the exposure value to like sort of like negative 0.3, and this is where you can actually capture even better, more detailed kind of photos with lesser noise. So that's what I did on this guy here. And I also noticed that if you dig into the settings, you might notice that we do have a couple of filters that was actually available on a certain Hasselblad branded device. So yeah, you do have those cool filters in here as well, so you don't have to go through the process of actually editing your photos. Nice. Furthermore, it actually supports underwater photography as well as videography. So I don't know how many of y'all do that, but just for the sake of testing the phone out, I actually threw the phone into the water, take some pictures, take some videos, and you will see them on your screens right now. It actually did a great job because the phone actually turned on the LED while it was underwater. So yeah, it's actually made to take these kind of photos or videos when you are below water. Nice. Moving on, another cool trick with the camera here is that yeah, it does come with that live photos. I don't know if any of y'all actually use that, but it's here now. And it also has a couple of AI features on board that will just make the entire experience a little bit better, a bit more clever, a bit more fun to play with. So yeah, overall I'm still quite happy with the cameras that we have on board. Now moving on, let's talk a bit about the display at the front, guys. What do we have here? Now this time around, the display is actually sort of like a collaboration with Samsung. It's a Samsung display. It's their Eco 2 series, if I'm not mistaken. But long story short, just using it on the daily, I noticed that it is actually super bright. And furthermore, it's actually very, very saturated as well. Now obviously you can tune the color levels in the settings to suit your own personal liking. But yeah, it's just a very bright display, very vivid, and of course it supports the 120Hz LTPO. So yeah, everything is just good on the display over here. Now moving on to the battery, what do we have in terms of the battery? Again, we've got some cool tech going on. This is actually a silicon anode battery, which basically is able to pack in more density without making the size so thick. So you see this phone here, it's not that thick, but yet it actually houses a 6500 mAh battery, which is actually huge, guys. So most phones today are just 5000 mAh, 6500 mAh, and it doesn't look that thick. Furthermore, it actually supports that 120 watt fast charge that will get you 100% in 37 minutes. So yeah, a long battery life and one that actually charges up very quickly. Now last but not least, of course, we have to talk a bit about the design. Now I know design is very subjective, But yeah, let me know what you think about these colors. We have both here. One is in this orangey kind of look, and one is in a slightly understated silverish kind of look. Me personally, I went with this, the grayish kind of look, just like what you're seeing on my videos. But I think the orange also stands out very nicely. Alright, so that pretty much wraps up our video for today. But who is this phone really for? Well, to put it simply, if you are a gamer, a hardcore gamer, if you are someone who wants to experience the latest technology right away, and also if you are someone who's just looking for a new flagship phone and you want something that is the latest chipset, well, definitely you should check out the GT7 Pro. Anyway, let me know what you think about these devices, guys. Let me know down in the comment section below. Are you all excited for this? Let me know. Thank you for watching this video all the way to the end, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Do take care, stay safe, and bye-bye.